Hi, good day, good morning, good evening, wherever you are.
Yes, we're so happy to be here and be with you all.
Yeah. So, quick intro of ourselves, and then we invite you to put in the chat uh, where you're from, where you are at this moment. Tina Marie, would you like to say where you are at the moment?
Yeah, I'm in Vancouver, Canada, sometimes referred to as Raincouver.
I'm in Sussex in England, where it always rains, so we don't even need to use the name. It's very grey and wet today, and green. So,
Same.
okay, we've got LA,
Oh
UAE,
my goodness.
Zagreb, Edinburgh, Washington, Madrid, Minneapolis, Orange County, Miami, Worcester, Bordeaux, Portland, Warsaw,
Holy cow.
London, Devon, Austin, Crawford. Hey, how cool is that?
It's a waterfall of different places in the world. Thank you all
Yay.
so much for coming and joining us and imagining all the different time zones that are here.
Yeah, Durham, North Carolina, Singapore, Barcelona, Northampton, Massachusetts, Toronto, Taipei. Well, we hold that coactivity and coactive coaching is truly international, and it's beyond culture and beyond nationality. So we hope to give you a little taste of that today.
Yes, 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 we will. Woo!
Ooh, so Tina Marie, do you want to give a couple of sentences about your background, about how you got into this coactivity stuff?
Sure. Yeah, that was way back in 2004 or 2005. I happened upon someone who was needing a practice client because they were in certification for CTI. I'm like, okay, I'm not sure what I'm agreeing to, but I think I'm going to give it a go. And before long, I was in my first fundamentals room, and boy, did coactive not only help me professionally, but also personally. And
Mm,
I
yeah.
love coactive and happy we are all here to get a little taste of it too.
Well, I went to fundamentals in 2002. I was introduced by a colleague who was the very first leader outside North America. And yeah, it changed my life. So, and it's been 22 years of fun and learning ever since. Never got bored.
Yes.
So, what are we going to do today?
Well, we have quite an hour set up for you. Yeah, here we go. Welcome to the power of coactive coaching.
A demonstration and a debrief.
That's right.
Learn what to expect. A little taste of what coaching is, a taste of a coaching tool.
You're going to get to witness myself doing a live demo with someone I've never met.
Yeah, so that will give you a chance to experience coaching skills. And then we will debrief
The
um,
demo.
the demo, and then there'll be time to answer any questions that you have.
Yeah. And this is really
So,
important. This is something we do in all of our courses and also relationships with clients. Or we design our alliance
yeah,
and make
so
sure.
we wanted to point out if you've not been experienced co-activity before, usually there are two of us. We are co-leaders, and we hope that that models the power of relationship.
And because there's two of us and we've not practiced this, you might notice that every once in a while we kind of step on each other or we finish each other's sentences. And we've
Yeah,
designed our alliance with that. We know that that may happen and we're quite comfortable with it. It might get
yes.
a little bit messy, but it's also very in the moment.
So, as it says on the slide, nothing in this webinar is scripted. The second design that we'd like to say is usually in our courses, we hold the content confidential, not the skills, not the teaching, but the content.
And
But
because
yeah, Go on.
Because this is being recorded and it's sort of a marketing opportunity to allow more people to see who we are and what we do in the world in a small snapshot of time, we've designed our alliance with our client coming up for the demo that it's not going to be confidential because it's going to be recorded and available on many different platforms going
Yeah, so we have an explicit agreement from our volunteer that she's bringing a real topic and she knows that it will not be held strictly confidential in the way it is in our courses.
Yes.
So there is the definition of coaching.
Coaching is partnering with individuals in a thought-provoking, creative process that inspires them to maximize their personal and professional potential.
That is the definition of the International Coaching Federation. I think a lighter definition is we ask stupid questions and clients listen to their wonderful answers in order to live the life that they want.
That's right. We humans tend to go about living our lives sort of unconsciously, and it certainly was quite profound for me sitting with my first life coach when she was sharing this information with me, and I was like, "Where are you? You're so brilliant. Where are you getting all this information from?" And she said, "You."
You.
What? So it's quite wonderful
Yeah.
to really
I
lean in.
think another way of putting it is awareness and choice, that it brings conscious awareness and a conscious ability to choose.
Yeah.
So the other next slide appears. A tool. This is a very common tool used in lots and lots of coaching schools.
The wheel of life. And for this particular scenario, we have 8 quadrants, right? 8 areas of your life. In reality, there's so many more that are available to us. But for the sake of this tool, this is what we use with, many people use with their clients first off. We certainly introduce it in our first course. And what we're imagining is thinking of these areas of your life in this moment. How satisfied are you with these areas of your life in this moment?
Yeah.
I mean, yesterday could have been a way different experience than a week from now.
Yeah. I want to underline two things that Tina Marie touched on there. One, it's a snapshot of now. It's not something that's permanent. And the other thing, it's how satisfied are you? Not how good or bad or what society judges you for. How satisfied are you at this moment? So 10 would be amazing.
Off the
Life
charts.
off the charts.
Off.
It can be an 11 even, like Spinal Tap. Or 1 is really, it's pretty tough going and I need to pay attention to it.
Yes.
And even that little diagnosis can be hugely valuable to ask someone to stop and think, how satisfied are they?
Yeah. And
So,
imagining if this was a wheel on a cart or a wheel on a bike, how bumpy might that ride be?
yeah, yeah. And when we coach, there might be a temptation to say, health is the one that's the lowest. We ought to coach on that. We don't do that. We say to the client, what is the one that draws your attention? What is the one that you want to work on? So again, there's no judgment involved when we start the coaching,
Yes.
which we're about to do. Is that right, Tina Marie?
Yes, I'm eager to meet my client. I have a feeling her name is, she's coming on soon, and I believe her name is Fina. I'll check in and see if that's how I pronounce it when I meet you. Fina. If you aren't aware, you're on mute and your camera's off. I know sometimes.
Hey, Fina, welcome.
Perfect.
Welcome.
Hi, thank
Yeah,
you.
Tina Marie, I'll switch my camera off and mute myself. I'll
Okay.
give you a heads up at 10 minutes just to show you sort of what time you're at.
Sweet.
Okay.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Okay. All right.
Hey. Hi, Fina.
Hello. Hi.
It's so good to meet you. Whereabouts are you in the world?
I'm in Calgary. I am just on the other side of where you are. I'm in Calgary, yeah, Canada.
And am I saying your name right?
Yes, it's Fina, correct.
Fina. Fabulous.
Yes.
Fina and Tina.
Yeah, that rhymes.
So you're in Calgary, and thank you so much for agreeing to volunteer to be our client for today. And I understand that you were given the wheel of life already, and you've marked your segments.
Yes, I was, and I walked through it. It was a bit here and there, trying to decide what contest I really would like to be coached on today. I mean, I would have loved to be coached on every part of the wheel. Well, yeah, we
Can I
don't have
tell you, can I tell you a
that.
little secret? I'm going to share something. When we choose to work on one area in the wheel of life, and we take some steps or even just one baby step, it tends to enhance the other areas too.
Yeah, I I can believe that. I think that's true. Thank you. Okay, so I settled on career
Okay.
and
And what number, actually, before we jump into the career and the numbering, I just want to check in with you. Is there anything that you and we should design as far as how to hold you through this coaching? Anything you want from me or don't want from me?
well, I am hoping that at the end of the session, I would somehow I will be feeling less stuck. Let's put it that way. If I can get that from you.
Okay. So then would I have your permission if I feel necessary to get you up and move? Like, could you get up and move?
Oh yeah, sure. Now? You need to do that now?
Yeah, sure. Why not? Let's just start
Perfect.
already moved. Love it.
Okay. That's one step and here.
Okay, sweet. Okay, so thank you, Fina. Career, and you want to be unstuck. And what number have you currently given it?
I rated myself a 5 in that
Okay,
area.
a 5. And excuse me, what does a 5 look like currently?
Okay, I chose the word stuck because right now for me, that number, it feels like I'm literally stuck where I am. I I'm looking to change roles. I work in human resources,
Yeah.
and I'm at that point where I feel I'd like to do something else. But I am not exactly certain of what I want to do. I worry that because, okay, this is what I've done for a very long time and I really do enjoy it. I am concerned that I'm going to make a decision and then I'm going to look back and be like, no, I shouldn't have done this. I am not enjoying where I am so much. But then also to remain in human resources, I kind of feel like I need more to be able to support my business leaders and management, just a higher level of engagement. And I worry that
I'm hearing there's some fear here.
I think so, which is why I thought I should be here today, because I do not know where that came from. It felt like one day I went from feeling really good about what I'm doing and believing I'm contributing a lot to suddenly thinking or feeling like I'm not doing enough and that I just need a higher level of engagement. I
I also
feel
hear
like
you want more. You want
yes, I was
more.
just about to say that. Like, I feel like I need to do more. I need to be more. but I don't even have a clear picture of what that more is at the moment.
Oh my goodness, I got shivers all over my body. What's happening over with you?
Yeah, that's why I said I literally feel stuck.
Ah, okay, well, let's get things moving, shall we?
Okay, thank
Can you
you.
stand up again for me?
Oh yeah, sure, why not?
Okay, let's stay standing. Okay, let's imagine, can you move left to the right, whichever way you want. One side of you is going to be the 5 on your wheel of life in career. So step into the 5. We just kind of
Okay,
talked about it a little bit, right?
right, yep.
You feel stuck here. There's a bit of fear here, and you want more. You're satisfied, and yet you want more. You're hungry, right?
Mhm. Yeah,
Okay.
that's
Okay.
it.
So if you were to imagine you get to be at any number you want, what number is that?
I would say an 8 because I would like to keep and there's always room for improvement. I would like to keep learning and yeah, always be better at what I do. So an 8.
Okay.
That's
Will you move over to an 8 with me? Whichever side of the screen that works for you.
oh, sure.
Move your
8. I
body.
would
There we go.
here.
Okay. So here we are. We're in an 8. What does your life look like here?
Okay. Uh Greater level of engagement, more impact. I would like to think that every employee I support works out of that space better,
Mm.
with a better perception and view of their relevance at the workplace and how what they're doing every day is helping um, not just the business achieves its goals, but
Mhm.
also helping them in
Mhm.
their personal growth and in their career aspirations.
What's screaming to me right now is how important it is that people feel like they matter to you.
Which is why I said I am afraid that if I leave what I do now, like if I move to a different role, I might look back and regret it because then I might feel like, okay, I don't think this circle of influence or impact is working well for me.
Mm. Is there
Yes.
something about letting people down?
Okay, that's a little bit of a touchy subject. I'm very much a people person. That's
Yes.
correct.
Yes.
And I like to feel that everybody who I come in contact with, not just that I learn from them, but I also like to feel that I leave something behind,
Hmm.
one way or the other. So I'm
So
considering that I work in human resources, yes. It's also very important that you feel like employees get the support they need from you and that you're not letting put them on the business down.
there's
So yes.
something about your shirt that is screaming out at me. It's like you are the tree and you're wanting to shine light on everyone. You
Oh, okay. All right. So somebody just dropped the chat for me. I didn't even pay attention. Too late. Too late to quit. Okay.
So what's here now?
Too late to quit. Okay. It's a coincidence. I didn't choose this for this session. It
Maybe
wasn't
your subconscious
intentional.
did.
Okay, I hear you.
So imagining you're the tree and you're shining light on all these beautiful souls. Where are you? Who are you?
Okay, I would love to have be this tree that's got lots of branches,
Yes.
provide them shade for
Yes.
people who want to just rest underneath, find some kind of strength and refresh. So that is who I would be.
Mm.
But I would also hope that as a tree, I am also in a position to be refreshed
Yes.
I mean,
Yes.
if those leaves are not green, if I am not being watered, I wouldn't be in a position to provide any kind of shade for anybody. So that is how I would love to be, in a give and take place where, as much as people draw from me, I would also have the strength to be able
Yes.
to remain, to thrive, and just provide that support that the people need from me.
Yes. And remembering, as a tree, your roots are going underground and they're connecting and serving with other trees.
Yes, community.
Community. Is that a value of yours, maybe? Hey?
Yes, yes, it is. If I can say this, I mean, I'm African, I'm Nigerian, and yes, I come from a culture where community is very important. So yes, I recognize the importance of networking and community, just making sure you don't run empty. You don't end up running empty because you're just there giving and people. Yeah, I think we all need somebody to give us a hand
Yeah.
and also
Lean
to
into
work
each other,
hard.
right? Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So imagining. What's that movement? You're like moving. You're like grooving.
Yeah, yes, I am.
Let's
Think
hear
I
it.
get to talk this through. Um, feel like I'm in a better place already. I just need to sit down and clearly define my
Well,
goals.
if you were to imagine from this place of feeling good, being connected, shining light on people, helping them all see that they matter. And there was one, maybe two small steps you could take towards creating more of that for yourself. What pops up?
Um, one would be that community. I would be more intentional in getting involved with like-minded people, just to help me learn better. And I think I'll most likely do that after the session. I am going to sit down and write down what I want. Probably if I have it written out down in black and white, I'm going to be able to decide, make a decision, um, am I really dissatisfied with where I am right now? Or is it just that I've caught myself up with all these expectations and they are just not aligning with where I am or where I want to be? So yes, those would be the 2 steps I would take.
2 steps that you will take. You're such a shining bright light.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm really excited for your community and the people that you are continually going to be impacting with your conscious choice. Let's hear now. What's this?
Okay, I feel like I've moved from a 5 to a 6.
I'm
This
making
right
up that
now.
this way you're holding your body is like a power pose. Could it be?
Okay, this is my thinking on my feet pose.
Thinking on my feet pose.
Yeah, but I feel like I've moved from a 5 to a 6 right now. So
Thank you. Thank you,
it's
Fina, so much for doing this with me. And how would you like to be held accountable?
accountability. If I would have somebody, have someone who would check in with me and just make sure that I'm not getting in over my head,
Mm.
but I'm not doing less, or that I'm not doing too much. So just to have somebody who would understand
Yeah.
what I'm hoping to achieve or what I'm hoping to get to, and just check in with me, have conversations with me, ask the difficult questions, that would really help.
Is there someone in mind that you would be able to reach out to ask to be your accountability partner?
Certainly. I do belong to a community of likely similar professionals in human resources. And yes, that is a group I can count on to work with me. Yes.
So as far as accountability goes, we like to know what you will do and by when. So it sounds like you'll reach out to this community. By when might you do that?
Okay, hopefully I don't sleep on that one. As soon as I have all those goals defined and written down, I am going to reach out to somebody to have a chat with them. Let's see.
Okay, you know, one of the more things that we do in coaching, there's so many things we do in coaching, but one of my favorite tools is called a challenge. Can I give you a challenge?
Sure.
And
Okay.
anytime you're given a challenge, you can say yes, no, or counter offer it.
Okay.
Okay, so I challenge you to write out all your goals by noon today and reach out to your accountability people by 1 p.m. today. Look at your eyes go big. What's happening?
Okay, can I do the counter?
Please bring it on.
I would have that done. I will get it done by Friday.
Friday, okay?
Yes, that's the
Tuesday.
second goal. Today is Wednesday.
Oh, today.
Tomorrow, I would have that done by Friday.
Okay, fabulous. Okay, by Friday, and you will reach out to your accountability people.
Yes, I will.
Okay.
I will. Goals tomorrow.
Yes.
Reach out to somebody on Friday. Challenge accepted.
Fabulous. Okay, thank you so much. It's such a pleasure to meet you, you bright light.
Thank you. Thank you
I know
very much.
you've got this.
Thank you.
Look at all the cards coming up for you, beautiful soul.
Yay. A joy to witness that. Thank you. Let's debrief that. Now, unlike our courses where we get to see people and we can hear them, we're sort of at a bit of a disadvantage. So if you could put any observations in the chat, and then we can probably interact with them.
Yes, because we
Yeah.
don't see faces here.
Yeah.
You see our faces. We don't see any other faces.
Yeah. Well, there's one here that says from Marta, challenging, well done, clear and concise. Challenging is a skill where we're sort of asking something that will take the client way beyond their comfort zone. Usually there's a physical reaction. I mean, Tina actually saw the eyes go like, oh, that was a challenge. And what the impact of that is often the client will do more than they think they could do. So there was a counter offer there, but I'm sure that that counter offer was bigger than otherwise what Fina would have accepted. Yeah, a lot of you shared what you noticed and you didn't direct at all. Forgive us if we're going to sort of miss some of these. In our model, we call this articulating what's going on. It's basically listening, noticing, and feeding it back.
Without attachment and waiting for them.
Without attachment.
Waiting for them to do what they want with it.
And sometimes it's not direct observation. There was occasion when I'm hearing fear here. Now, I didn't hear fear, but there was an intuitive wisdom that Tina actually gave to the client without attachment. So we say that intuition is a very powerful skill, in our coaching.
Mhm.
And there was another occasion, Tina, where you said, my sense is that you want people to feel that they matter.
Mm.
And your client lit up.
Yeah.
Where did that, yeah, where did that come from?
My body just informs me, and I could just see her big heart just wanting to
Yeah,
leave
yeah,
beautiful impacts on people.
yeah. Melissa asked, what does attachment mean? It's basically thinking that you're right and that you've said something really wise and clever,
Mhm.
as opposed to, I'm going to say something in service of you. You can take it, you can leave it, you can change it, but it's not my opinion that I'm going to defend.
You know, some of us people tend to thrive by having someone throw an idea out that we can say no to in order to find our yes. So as coaches, we really do train in
Yeah,
coactive world to not be attached to our ideas being right or wrong,
yeah.
but knowing they're a stepping stone.
DJ Collier said that Tina injected her energy into the relationship to allow the coachee to reflect it, but also empowered her to engage. Our coaching is not passive, and it's not just one way. We always use that. We're both leaning in.
100, 100.
Yeah. So the coach is active. Sometimes we get it wrong, but we need to notice what's going on and actually give it back to the client. And there was such a lovely mutual energy between those two.
Mhm.
It seems you were moving around a lot and it was intentional, Andy says. I don't believe that. I think you just jump up and down all the time.
I do like to move. I
Yeah.
really do believe our bodies are so informative. And to let mine inform me and then invite my clients to a lot of my coaching back prior to our pandemic was walking and talking. We would meet in the
Mm,
forest and walk and talk, and my clients are constantly moving, and so am I, and we just get into a good groove that way.
yeah. And there was a comment earlier that said, you didn't allow your client to sit down. Well, we're always designing an alliance with our client to say, does she want to sit down? Or is she still being energetic and is she still getting value from that?
Yes.
So we're
If
always in service of our client. We're not saying, right, stand up, you're going to feel better.
That's
No.
right. If she's like, okay, I'm done standing, I'd really like to sit. I'm like,
Yeah.
sweet, let's sit.
Yeah.
And myself as a coach, I'm not all the time, but a lot of the time, I'm going to be mirroring my client.
Mm. Yeah. I think we need to explain mirroring. It sounds very obvious, but it's like when
Yeah.
you do something, the coach does something, and you as a coach get an emotional and embodied response in yourself, but the client also witnesses what they're doing and how they're doing it. So that's the skill of mirroring.
Yes.
Some really basic things. Somebody said, what's here now? A powerful question. Questioning in coaching is very short, simple, and open. And it allows the client to go, well, this is here now.
Mm-hmm. So I often see little shifts happening. And instead, sometimes I can
Oh,
name the shift, and sometimes I can bring it back to the client and ask them to name it.
mm. Yeah. Ruchi says, I saw how you were reading non-verbal clues and connecting it to the topic that was discussed. We call that in our jargon listening at level 2, which is very directed, and listening at level 3, which is very soft, the emotional field. And there was one really clear example that was screaming when Tina picked up the slogan.
Oh,
on the t-shirt. And I was thinking, when is she going to use that? When is she going to use that? And did you notice the impact on the client of simply articulating what was going on?
yeah,
Which
put a
then
lot-
led to another wonderful skill, which was the use of metaphor.
Mm.
Tina, do you remember what the metaphor came from the t-shirt?
Ah, yeah, she was the tree and she was shining the light. Oh, but there were so many, and then the roots down below to the
And the root.
community.
Yeah. Metaphors allow you access to wisdom and discovery that sometimes you can't put into words.
Mm.
So we do consciously use metaphor in our coaching.
Yeah.
Big sigh. Ah.
Love
Yeah. Values came up. Tina, what do we mean by values in our model?
values. Values are so unique to each individual, much like our thumbprints are. Many of us grow up with a lot of morals sort of put upon us by family or community. And we believe that each person has their own intrinsic set of values that have us just on purpose, have us just be our unique selves. And that's another one of our favorite tools that we get to use along with the Wheel of Life,
Yeah.
values.
I think every time we open our mouths, we represent our values.
Amen.
So Tina could actually point to those values as Fina was actually talking. And they're not always about being good and being happy.
Mm.
Being of service or being with someone who's ill or dying can be painful, but you're honoring a value.
Mm. Yeah. Has us be really present.
Yeah. And then what happened towards the end of the coaching? The client committed to do something. We always talk about deepening the learning and forwarding the action.
That
Growing your
accountability.
awareness, committing to change.
Yeah, did you see? She was like, "Oh, accountability!" Like she was excited about it. It was kind of fun.
Yeah. And Tina trained the client to say, look, you can go yes, no, counter offer. The client is always in charge.
Always.
So the client then said, yes, I'll do this. But then came the challenge. Okay, this morning, today. Oh, no, can't do that. But I will do it by.
Yeah. Yeah. And if the client doesn't resonate with the metaphor, he'll let it drop. I could say, oh, whatever. What's really interesting is we use powerful questions, right? That's
Yeah,
one of the keys to being a coactive coach, any coach. And depending on how Fina may have responded with the tree not being the right metaphor for her, she might have given me a tip or a clue by what she said to be the next place to go into. And or I could have said, and so if there was a metaphor for
yeah,
how you're showing up at an 8 in career, what might that be?
yeah, yeah. And you finished with another skill, which was acknowledgement. You're reflecting back to the client her strengths. Yeah.
And it's really
So
important what you're saying there, Antony, because when we acknowledge people, we often think we need to add a whole bunch of information. And you just so brilliantly said, you are, and then you fill in the blank. That's it. You are a bright light. And you
yeah,
don't
yeah,
justify why or how come or where you saw it. You just let it land and you just hold space for them to receive it.
yeah. It's another way of mirroring and articulating what's going on. And it takes courage to do it, and it takes courage to receive it.
Yeah.
Tina, I need to design something with you.
Yes,
Our
please.
wonderful back of the curtain staff have said we should be looking at the Q&A rather than the chat. So I've got the first one. Bianca Fontana says, why did you keep her standing? I see you can see more body language. but is there another reason?
Well, I think we touched on it a little bit earlier. I believe the body informs us, right? We're so used to sitting and letting our head inform us, and we're forgetting like how much more percentage of us is in our body. And so I really do believe that using the body helps shift and add to what brilliant the mind is already creating.
Yeah, yeah. Now, here's a question that we always get, Mia. So, Tina, this is from Mia Wang. How would you describe the difference between coaching and psychological therapy?
Well, first off, I'll say coaching can be therapeutic. It's not therapy. And when I think of therapy and all the therapy sessions I've been to, love therapy, I go to the therapist and they look at me who I am today, and they want to go into my past to look at why I am who I am today. And when it comes to coaching, I'm looked at who I am today and who do I want to be? Where do I want to go? And how do I want to get there? And as a coach, I hold space for who they are today and help encourage them, set them up for success to be who they
Yeah,
have already inside them. They just need to.
yeah. Well, whenever we answer this question, we always get people who are therapists or who are coaches and say, actually, that's not exactly the way we see it. So I would always say be tolerant of the difference. But as Tina says, coaching is about now and the future. Therapy is more often about healing the past. So the good news is that people who come to coaching are usually very interested in the present and the future. It's a bit like they're not fit, but they want to get fit, but they don't have broken bones. If you have broken bones, you might need to see a therapist. And you can do both.
Yes.
Jennifer said, is the challenge a little directional?
Yes. Yes. Kind of, sort of. It's kind of that one time where we can just go out, right? We have different ways of doing this. It could be a request, which is a little less directional, but it's still coming from my experience of FINA.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it's opinionated and you're not attached.
yeah,
So
that's the key.
yeah, so you might go, well, I want you to go cold water swimming in Calgary Bay. I mean, I don't think there is a bay in Calgary, but and the client would go, don't be ridiculous, I can't swim. So you're actually giving them a challenge that will grow them, but you're not attached to whether or not they do it. It
And
is
so
directional.
if that came out, I can't swim, I might just say, what can you do?
A powerful open question.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and hold space and wait.
yeah. Here's a short one, which I'm going to throw, and then I'm going to go to Nicole. Kelly says, which of your questions were prepared?
A great big fat zero.
Is fat zero, which is the great joy of coaching. We use a concept called dancing in this moment. It's a lovely metaphor because you don't know who you're going to be dancing with, and you don't know what they need.
Yes.
Nicole says, how much of your own personality can you infuse into coaching another person? I love this. Is Tina Maria mirroring, or is she just effusive all the time?
I'd say a bit of both.
A bit of both.
I'm really good at sitting on my couch for hours and watching Netflix, and I don't move. So, it's all
Well, my view is it's a lot. When we finish training you, we basically say, go and coach in the way you want to coach. It's a bit like we're teaching you to read music and to play music, but you are a completely different instrument. So you might be introverted, you might be quiet, you might be very spiritual, just like me, or you might be noisy, okay? Which is the joy, and the clients who want what you've got will find you.
yes.
That's the joy.
Yes. When I was first stepping out as a professional in my certification and trying to find clients, I kept thinking I had to find them out in the world, somewhere where I had never been. And once people heard that I was doing this, I'm like, oh, I could coach you and you. And of course, we all have similar communities and backgrounds, and we just soared together. It was lovely.
Yeah. Carly says, why didn't you dig in, and forgive us here, Fina, because we're going to talk about you a little bit, but it isn't about you. Why didn't you dig into Fina's reaction to the people pleasing question when she said touchy subject?
I have a vague memory of going, oh, we could go in here. And then going, oh, it's a demo. I've probably got about 5 more minutes. So there was just a little bit of, but I could have so easily and deliciously dove into that with her.
Mm. Any and every moment in coaching, there's sort of 360 ways you could go.
Well put.
So, yeah. So what you notice, maybe the coach either didn't notice or did notice, but chose not to go there at that particular moment.
And what's important here is you said me as the client or me as the coach or the client chooses not to go there. I could have asked and the client maybe just said no or jumped to something else, and I respect that.
There's a question about standing up, which I think we've addressed. Cynthia says, I hear fear versus I hear some emotion. Can you elaborate what you feel right now? Which one is better? Assuming not leading people into emotion. These are great questions.
They really are. They really are. And on occasion, I will say, I hear some emotion. What's here?
Yeah. You can do either. Sometimes it's very useful simply to name what you're feeling. And that, so the client can go, you're right, I am, or no, it's not fear. It's something else. So both can be valuable.
That was a moment where I was sensing some fear in my body. And that's where level 1 listening, we have 3 levels of listening, was informing me in a way that I thought I would use. And she could take it or not. Again, I'm not attached to it. Just because I'm sensing it doesn't mean it's.
Greg says your judgments were all positive, affirming, and encouraging, and still they came across as judgments. Or do you feel you weren't judging? When and how is it helpful and not helpful for a coach to judge our clients? Could I jump in there?
Yeah.
Tina? We are always judging our clients as naturally creative, courageous, and whole. We're always judging them that they are empowered to live the life that they really want and need. When we reflect, we're just innocently giving them a resource that they can choose to use or not. So it may come across as judgment, and in a way it is. It's a paradoxical skill of coaching.
We're humans. We're judging machines, and I think, as Antony is pointing us, it's important to just not be attached to them. Offer them.
Yeah. Sydney says, who's just come from balance, congratulations, Sydney, was a stepping from 5 into 8 a way of changing perspectives? Yes, through an embodied state. Yeah. What if she said no to the challenge? What would your next step be, Tina?
Oh, that's a great question. If he said no to my challenge, I'd say, so what would you like to do?
Yeah. Do
you have something else in mind?
Yeah. Or you could even say, what are you noticing as you say no?
Oh,
and it might be, well, for once I've got the guts to, to stand up for myself.
Yeah, love it.
Any and every moment in coaching is a place to deepen the learning as well as for the action.
Peeling back those layers of the onion, right?
Yeah. How can we become a certified coach? So here, I'm going to duck that one because I would simply say, if you want to become a coactive certified coach, get in touch with CTI, because they can take you through all the steps. And the first step is to come to fundamentals. Yeah. Denise said, did you have any particular models or psychological theories in mind as you held the space for FINA? Oh my word, these questions.
Yeah, wow, precious. Basically, all of the 50, how many, 8 years of my life have led to being able to hold space for FINA. And all of my interests and the things that I chose to dive into and were put upon me and I got through, all of that, my own therapy, I certainly have my favorites. And I imagine you all do too. And you get to
Yeah.
bring that with you.
My answer would be, we have a model which has stood the test of time, now nearly 30 years. It's very simple, but it's also very deep. And it does, I think, stand on other philosophical models. But I'm a bear of very simple nature. I would say the coactive model is
Yeah.
the basis on which we coach.
Yes. Yes.
Yay. Somebody says, it's Miranda. Are there situations where coaching is not right for someone?
Partners,
Oh,
kids,
yeah, our friends,
cranky
anybody where
neighbors.
anyone where you've got skin in the game. When you want your partner to do the washing up, don't coach him.
Don't do it.
Okay. Okay. But more seriously, um, there are people, it's very easy not to be coached. So if you don't want to be coached, that you won't be coached. You've got to be prepared to make changes.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
there are people who I think are much more suited to therapy.
Very much so.
It's when you get no forward movement or no change that you might say, client, I think you might need some other form of help. But it is very rare because people who come to coaching are self-selected. They want to
Mostly, right?
change.
I work
They
with a
want,
lot of families and young people, and I meet parents, and they're like, "Oh my God, I want you to work with my child." And I'm like, "Sweet, I'd love to work with your child." And it's really important that your child chooses to work with me. So we meet, and I let them know they don't have to work with me, and we're just gonna connect. And if they want to work with me, then they do.
yeah,
So that's another time you
absolutely.
don't, right? You tell your husband, "I've got the perfect coach for you," and they're like,
Yeah, it's a willing coactive partnership. Yeah. So we'll do two last questions because I realize that time is coming up. How is the coactive approach different from other coaching approaches? Gosh, you get all the easy questions here, Tina.
You're directing this one to me. I would say the coactive approach, different than other coaches, is we really add the being part. Who is my client going to be in order to get the doing done? And a lot of coaching schools out there are about the end product, about getting things done. And we spend half the time in the being place because, like,
Yep. Yep.
that's
I
where
think there is one particular thing that we make explicit, and it's the power of intuition, that we actually say it's a core skill in our model. And if you look at the International Coaching Federation's core competencies, they're very much in line with the coactive model. So it sounds strange to say, but if you've got being as well as doing, then you're probably already on the coactive model, as opposed to what's your problem? How do we fix it? Yeah. In the session brief, it mentions that we'll experience 6 to 8 of the 26 skills found in the coactive model. Could you elaborate, please? Okay, starting now. Okay. Powerful questions.
mirroring.
Mirroring,
Yeah,
articulating what's going on.
yeah.
Metaphor,
Levels of
yeah,
listening,
but yeah, levels of listening. Intuition, designing the alliance,
accountability.
acknowledgement,
Challenging.
championing, challenging. I think we've got 10 there. Okay.
I think so. And there's so many more. There's
And
so
so
many.
many more. Yeah. Yeah. There are so many different types of coaches, which is confusing. I'm
Mm,
going to say that there's only coaches who want people to live their true life. If you say, I'm a career coach, or I'm an executive coach, or I'm a writing coach, you're actually working with the context rather than with the person. That doesn't mean to say that you might not have some professional expertise, but we would say you're a coach. And that means you don't need specialized knowledge. You can coach a nuclear physicist, or you can coach an Olympic athlete. Yeah. I hope that we got to most of those questions. Oh, there's one last one from Echo. When we get familiar with our clients, do we choose the directions and ways that suit them? Yes, absolutely. Yeah, there are clients that I love to challenge.
mm.
There are clients that I like to, well, as best I can, to be much more gentle. Yeah, so you're constantly designing the alliance. How do you want to be with them to serve them? I think I could stay for another hour. You know, I don't know about you, but
It's getting warmed up.
yeah, no open questions. Okay. All right.
Okay.
It says no open. I thought that was an instruction to us. It says, no, there are no open questions left in the webinar. Okay.
Tick.
Well,
Wow.
I hope fully that if you're interested, that you get sample sessions
Yes.
or that you come to one of the courses and discover what collective coaching is about.
Yes, we would love to see you in our rooms. Oh,
Let's
different ways to
stay in touch.
fabulous.
Okay.
Fabulous.
It's a pleasure to see you, even though we didn't see you.
I know. And I hear we're
It's
doing this
frustrating.
once a month, so you can come back for more.
Okay, definitely.
Yeah. Oh, thanks for all the hearts. And thank you so much, Fina, for volunteering and being such a brilliant Fina for our
Yes, thank you, Fina. So we will go backstage.
okay. Bye, everyone.
Bye.